Okay, so whether you're making skins or you're making your own levels, you're making your own items, doing modeling, level design, just 3D graphics in general, you're going to need textures. In previous videos, I showed you guys how to make your own textures through the texture generator. I think only one video actually, which I mean, it does something. It doesn't make it seamless, but at the same time, I kind of came up with a better little method of doing it. It was 512 by 512, and the next one's 1024, so on and so forth. Then you get into the 2K and then 4K. If you start off with 512, you will be able to work your way up no matter what, because again, most textures they do require squares, especially if you're going to be using Mixer. So making seamless textures is actually pretty quick. And if you jump on phone, as I stated before, I haven't been able to do a lot of videos just because I've been working so much. We up in the Northeast, we've had a lot of snowstorms, so a lot of down trees. I can't tell you how many chainsaw blades I've been through. Sharpening them really takes a lot out of. Yeah. Anyways, so I got these right here. I took a picture of my pants. The problem with this is, here, let's open this up. I believe I can pull up the properties right from here. This is 719 by 1519. Which, yeah, that's great. I believe I raised up the resolution for this just a tad more. Nope. 567. Okay. By 1198. Again, it all depends on what you're going to really get out of it. Now, you can either plug in the USB. I just kind of do things straight through. Microsoft has this phone app, Your Phone, which is great. And what you can do is you can basically take pictures, you can play with your apps, all that other stuff. You should be able to click photos. You have to enable this actually. Let's click on apps right here, open phone screen. I have to allow this. Yes. I will not dox myself. And I can actually control my phone through this. I'm going to have both of them here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to drag down from the top and then hit the little setting bar. Nope. Let me just do it from my phone. Drag down once, twice, and you're going to see right here, link to Windows. Yeah, that's should be between scan QR code, and right here, name of my PC right now is Run Machine, or at least the one that I'm on right now. So this, you make sure that that's enabled, link to Windows, and then from there, I believe you also have to enable Bluetooth. With these two enabled, this should already be pre-installed. And you should just be able to click photos, and we'll do, I don't know, asphalt works pretty good. Just right click, save as. And I've just been saving underneath the desktop, so we'll do, I think this was actually the sidewalk. It's while I was at work, but no. Oh, there's already something called sidewalk. Okay. SW. I took a couple different ones because I wasn't too sure which one came out the best. Either way, I mean, you get pretty good detail. If you hold control, you can actually scroll your mouse wheel in a little bit. I mean, there's some pretty good detail in there. The thing is, you're never really going to know until you do it. We got tree bark. Now, notice how right here you can see the side of the tree? Not good. This, for the most part, looks pretty flat. Like I got one edge of it. So I'm going to save this as tree JPEG. and then the grass. And this is definitely the road. Um, huh. I actually think the most detail came out with this one. And I like this one doesn't look like it has a lot of the blur. I'm going to save this as grass. All right, cool. Once that's done, you have multiple windows open. Would you like to close them all? Absolutely. So, if you want to go ahead and generate a texture, um, that's one thing. Another is to go ahead and make all of these. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to do new folder, and I'm just going to name this textures. And we're just going to drop each of these in here because, again, we talk about organization all the time, yet I never follow through with it because, you know. And then I'm going to have to throw it in my not prawn folder after where everything else should go. All right. So do a new one for each of them. I'm just going to duplicate that. Copy. Paste. You know what? Control V, Control V, Control V. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Control V. All right. So this one, just have to click it once down at the bottom. Call it tree. Toss that in the tree. Sidewalk can be SW. Keep them all the same here. Grass. Road. And like I showed in the other video, I believe it was the second. Yes, the second texturing. I'm sorry, is the second video for making your own skins for Rust. Showed how you basically went out and took pictures. Main thing is you either want to do top down or 90-degree angle facing the side of a wall. You do not want any angle when taking these photos. Now that we have these all in order, we'll start off with the grass. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to open up Gimp. You can use Photoshop too. Again, the whole purpose of my channel is to do something for free and come up with some pretty darn good results. I think I get 2 swears per video before YouTube slaps me on the ass. And there goes one of them. New. So again, we're going to go back to that whole thing of the, making a square. Let's see what it's 1024 by 1024 looks like. And if I can get away with it, I don't believe I can. All right. And I'm going to add, yes, new. There we go. And delete this layer. So file, and we're going to open as a layer to the current project. Desktop. Textures. All right, we'll do grass. And grass JPEG. It really doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep it as the original. And yes, you want to convert because you want to convert the color profile over. I can absolutely not do that. Wow, I really can't do that. Let me see here. Now, Control C, Control V. Yeah, and the reason why I can't do that is because where this one ends right here, and it already did it because I moved it down a little bit. You're gonna see where it's cut off. You're definitely gonna see that, especially when the normal maps are put into place, along with God knows what other maps we can make or what you want to use for them. So, best thing to do is do 512 by 512 and then work your way up from there. 512 by 512 still gives you somewhat of a decent resolution. It's actually like the very bottom of the barrel, but if you have a better camera, I only have an S10 Plus. That's all I could really spring after my fifth phone. I do tree work, so again, if I forget my phone in my pocket and I put my leg up, I shatter the screen, uh, carrying a log or whatever, and it's not good. It's terrible. Um, I just can't keep buying phones. So I'm like, all right, well, this one takes decent pictures. I can go ahead and do what I want with that. Okay, create a new layer. Yes, let's get rid of this one. And same thing. File, open as layer. Let's do grass again. Whatever. Rotate it. It's not going to matter. Convert. All right, so now that we have this, you press M for move. And you're going to want to look for something that doesn't have like a lot of rocks so that it's just grass. I don't know what that is. It might be part of a dead bird. A lot of things went through that shipper today. That is a piece of twig. Okay. So hit R again. Now that we have that, that's our basic profile. And I'm going to export it. Now that I have my 512. Underneath textures, we'll do the same thing. Grass and grass JPEG. All right. We'll call it grass. Oh, that's down here. Nope. Name grass 512. Export. Yeah. Bump up the quality. Export it. Good to go. Really doesn't matter. Here's our grass texture. Not bad. Is that a feather? It really does look like a feather. Could be. So we're zooming in. It's still not too bad. Again, if you can get a much higher resolution, it's better. If you can do 1024 right off the bat. Okay, so now that we have our 512 squared, we're going to slow this down and we're going to go right into, and I'll put the link in the description below. Why did I do that? I basically found this website, which I tried it out. It converts all your textures into seamless quality. And basically, I said grass. Gravel works too. I'm trying out different things right now to figure out. That's the whole point of me taking a picture of the wood. I want to see what happens when you make a seamless texture. This is completely free. It is a secure connection. So, awesome. Now, right here, we're going to choose our file. Desktop, textures, grass, and grass 512. I'm going to use 4B, 2x2 disabled, and then the intensity for light, 30. Because what that will do is notice how there's some blurring, or not blurring, but it's not all uniform one color. This will make everything uniform so that what we go to make ours basically PBR textures from this using, where is it? Materialize. The dark edges won't look deeper, and then we won't get more of a cylindrical or even a spherical shape out of it. So 30 it is. Radius, I don't know what they put for a radius. I'm just going to Yeah, fine, 5. Everything else is going to stay the same. JPEG 100. Um, without compress. Yeah, no, I don't know how big that would be. And then you just hit OK. Wait a minute. Okay, now it gives us two things. After processed, open process texture. And this is what it came up with. So that everything stays uniform and it's great for tiling. Save image as, textures, grass, and we're going to call this grass processed. Download, you can download it, but sure, why not? And then it'll show you what it looks like as a tile. So this is actually 1024. So, I mean, if you wanted to, you could download that as well, but it's really, save images and 1024. Now all we got to do, jump into Materialize, but I just wanted to check to make sure. So we're going to jump into Blender. If you have a cube, here, you'll see your cube. Hit the cube. Click the cube. Delete the cube. Let me bring up screencast keys. Set origin. There we go. And there we go. So I'm going to hit Shift and A. I'm going to throw down a plane. And I'm going to hit Shift and Tab. And that basically throws on snapping. And then Shift and D. Shift and D. And G on the Y. Shift and D on the X. So I have these 4 right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 different materials. There's only one material right now. Base color, image texture. And I'm going to open the desktop, textures, and grass. Let's start with the first one that I did. There we go. Now with planes, it usually sets the UV right to itself. And we're just going to do the same thing here. Now, you can actually kind of see that line there. I know you really can't notice it, but I'm sure once you start moving away, you'll start to notice like, oh, hey, it looks like a grid. You definitely don't want that. So, do the same thing over here. Material. Yeah. Now, let's see what happens when we do a new material. And we're going to change the new material to, we'll just do grass processed, 512. I don't believe that. Just blends right in. You can still see it. Christ's sakes. In this case, I think I actually took it pretty good. Oh, no. That works a lot better. Let's add a light source. Hitting Z. Underneath rendered. All right. Bring up the size. Yeah, that's a lot better. Whereas, I mean, if we throw in the other one, um, yeah, you can definitely see the slight right there. And that's basically how you make it. From there, you can just jump right into Materialize and play with it from there. You might as well use the 1024. It's This is 512, so two 512s is 1024, and then two of them 512, or two 512s, two 512s, 1024, right here. So delete that. Actually, we don't even need to be in here anymore. All right, open up your diffuse map. Well, before you do anything, remember you got to scroll down with this a little bit. Change it to JPEG or PNG. You are going to thank yourself. BMP or bump maps, BMP. Uh, Holy crap! You're talking heavy, heavy files. Quite a few megabytes, that's for sure. So try to stick with the JPEGs when you can. So right off the bat, go ahead, open up your desktop, jump right into your textures. Gonna go into grass, grass 512. We'll do grass processed. Now we're gonna go ahead, create our height map. Um, Definitely want to check that slider bar. You might have to mess with this a few times, just to get really the best out of it. Set that height map, show full material. Because your height map will actually be your displacement map as well. It's not too bad. It doesn't look too grainy. And with that, you can go ahead and you can create a normal map out of it. I'm just going to keep everything default at this point in time. Super shiny. Create a metallic map. Um, I believe the metallic map, the black, is shiny. Um, let's create that again. Create another one. No, that's copy. Copy, paste, open, save. Create it. Set as metallic. There we go. Show full material. Your smoothness or roughness, same thing. Set as smoothness. There we go. That looks a little bit better. And then edge and AO. Edge create. I don't really know what edge maps are used for. AO. Been through this already. Haven't we, sweetheart? Okay. And normal plus depth equals AO, I believe. That's the only thing that you can set it as. All right. So your ambient occlusion is done. Show full material. And this is what the full material will look like. Not bad. And again, since we have that, now what we can do is we can save our project underneath grass. And Grass finished. Create new folder. There we go. Because it's underneath grass here. Fin. Fin. Fin, what are you doing? Select. Let's just click S on the AO. Boom. Done. Cancel. Alright. So. I mean, it doesn't matter what you click on. $5.12. Library, import custom service. And it's underneath fin. Do the original. Sure, that works. I'm just going to use everything as a default for right now. My surface will be grass. Height's at 10. Let's make it a 9 because it's looking a little bit rough around the edges. Again, you're working with a 512 by 512. Oh, yeah. And this is my textures. Yes, replace it. Replace grass. Do it. All right. Local library. All the textures that I have put in here. Grass. Layers. Throw that underneath here. Opacity masked. And I'm going to bring this up. So you actually got to make this the same too. There we go. And now you have your grass texture that you can use for pretty much everything else. You can preserve the details. We don't have anything underneath it right now, but perfect example if we want to go ahead and throw in another one. We'll choose. I choose this one, the bump wall. And you can see that it starts to have a little bit of an effect here. And there you have it. Then, of course, you can go ahead and you can save it later. You can also rotate it, change the height frequency. So that it pops through. We'll keep that underneath, though. I don't want it to break it, but I still want it to look like it's protruding out of it a little bit. And that's how you can get unlimited textures, really. You can just start making a whole bunch of these. Scatter your landscape with them. See how they look. And ultimately, I mean, you can jump back into Blender and see how they work from there. Well, I was able to actually keep this down to a certain, dare I say, time limit. But this information that I'm giving you guys is super invaluable. Teaching you guys how to make your own stuff, man. Again, link is down in the description to that website. There's tons of other cool little features on there. And I'm going to try to get more. Hopefully, I'll be able to get more out to you guys. But we've just been so damn busy at work. Yeah, besides that, I will talk to you guys later. And thank you again. If you haven't already, like, subscribe. I got some pretty cool videos on Rust and how to make skins. I got other videos on, well, I'm going to start getting into videos on Blender too. But yeah, There you go. If you're using the other method, ultimately as well, you can make your own textures, put it on there. But seamless is great, especially for level design. So, all right, take care, guys. Be well.